Well, hello.
Are we live?
We are live. I don't know what I
Holy
did, but
mackerel.
I am so sorry about that. See what
Hey,
happens
it's
when you mess with
okay.
technology?
And you see what happens when you're not paying attention to what is going on right there?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Manny. I just shocked you into being ready to go.
No, I was ready. I was just waiting for the timer to go. My friends, welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are, all about encouraging the three C's. And then we truly believe in it, connecting with others via video, content development that helps build your personal brand. And then what are we always doing? We are creators sharing our experience despite our distance. That's one of the big.
We are having all sorts of technical issues tonight. I'm sorry.
We need Kevin. It's throwing us off.
I think it's because Kevin is not here. You are absolutely right. Kevin, we miss you. We hope you're
We
enjoying
miss you,
time
buddy.
with your family. You totally deserve it. So, the C3 team member who is here and leading this evening is Manny, also known as Coach Manny, coaching us up in the world of social media marketing as well as pursuing his passion for streaming true crime. Manny, I'm really excited to hear about how ChatGPT is helping you create unique content. I love that word unique. So I need to know, how did you discover that this AI tool had this capability?
So the first thing when I was first introduced to it, it was more like, oh, that thing is creating these content ideas. Like literally. And that was a friend sharing with me, like, hey, have you heard of ChatGPT? And this was probably, I don't know, 8 months ago to a year ago. I'm not exactly too sure, but he was just talking about, like, look at all this thing can do. And it was literally like, I was like writing, typing. He said, ask it to do something. And what I was asking at first, it wasn't quite, it wasn't giving me what I wanted, or like, okay, I'm not really. He said, hold on, look at this. Then because he was asking it better than I was to help, right? And everything that I was asking wasn't coming back with a good prompt. But then when he was asking it questions and it was coming back with some great feedback, I was like, okay. So if I was, then I just started going on and on. But then I started learning about uh, it a little deeper on my own, and I started using extensions. I talked about extensions, uh, I don't know, about a month ago, something along those lines. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know. But in that process, I was like, wow, this is even that much more easier. My friends, if you're not too familiar with what we're talking about, you are about to learn. But what it did for me was the true crime factor. I literally was able to just like copy and paste paragraphs, and I would put it into an extension, and then I would click auto rephrase or something like that. I'll show you here in a second. But it literally was coming back with, wow, okay, I'm not taking their content. I'm able to take it and use the ideas out of that content. I'm able to put it into my own words. And, you know, if there was one flaw, I would say it sounds more professional than I do. It comes across as, man, like it comes proper English, I guess is the right way to put it, right? Whereas I like to talk, I like to write the way I talk to people. Like that's kind of like the way I look at it. Like, hey, I'm talking to you. I want you to get this out of it. But when I see how much time it saves, I was really drawn into it even more, digging even deeper, because I create content, right? I create true crime content. And I'm gonna stop there, but because you literally are ready to take me down a rabbit hole, and my goal was, how did I find out about this? But I love it for content creation, right? So what about you? Like, To be honest with you, Dory, some of the stuff that I've learned is from you teaching it on here. So like I'm seeing so much value when Kevin did it. Like I dove even more. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is powerful. Like what drove you into it?
Well, me being the super geek that I am, I hear about AI and I just want to dive in and learn about it. Both as we've mentioned on every stream, the pros, the cons, the negatives, the positives. But for me, the thing that I love about it is that it gives you a springboard. It gives you a starting point, and you just brought up an excellent, excellent point where if you had one flaw, one complaint, it would be it doesn't necessarily have your voice. So for me, I have some very particular, let's call it peculiar language that I use with my audience. And I'm never going to see that terminology come out of a prompt that I put into ChatGPT. But what I love about it is, first of all, it can help get your creative juices flowing, which then you can take that information and you can run with it. But the other thing I love about it is the time saving aspect of it. Whereas in the past, you might have to go to, say, 4 or 5 different sources to gather all of your information before doing a stream. Now you can use an AI service to compile all that information for you. One disclaimer, though, I like to throw out there is please keep in mind that specifically ChatGPT, as well as some other AI services, they are not 100% accurate and they are not 100% up to date. So that's just always something to keep in the back of your mind, especially if you're researching something that's fairly new. But I'm really, really excited to hear how you are using it to craft that extra favorite word of mine, that unique content. But before we get into that, my dear peeps, if this is the type of content that you would like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and a notification bell. That way you get notified whenever we go live. And I think with that little caveat, I think it's time to dive in and hear all about Manny's content creation tips for this evening.
Thank you so much, Dory. Now, as you know, we're going to be talking about Chat GPT. And I want to share with you something when it comes to this. I used to do a lot of blog writing for my own self. Nowadays, whenever I'm doing it for our clients, we're basically using their video and transcribing it. So that's how we're doing the blogs for the most part of the blogs these days. But when I was creating blog content manually from scratch, now I, my I'm gonna guess, because Dory's a teacher. I'm gonna guess it takes her a lot shorter time than me to do a blog. I'm gonna just guess. Some people it's completely different, but for me, I would say it would take me anywhere. Most times I never ever, I don't know that I ever, I'm going to give myself a little credit and say maybe I'm wrong, I just don't remember. I don't remember ever creating a blog in one day, a blog post. I'm going to say I could be wrong, but I don't quite remember off the top of my head. It always was a number of hours. I would say at least, if I did it in a day, 6 to 8 hours. If I did it in a day, I that's just how my mind worked. I always had to go kind of find a little help in like how they phrase this, how they phrase this, how does that sound, how they start, right? I'm spending a whole bunch of time going through just trying to come up with the right words. Nowadays, does not nothing like that. Nothing like that. If you are a content creator and you are looking to save time, just like Dory shared, that's one of the biggest values of this. You're going to want to stay tuned to this whole show, because I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how to make this so much easier for you. Okay. So it's key to understanding that. because generating fresh content, it could be a daunting task for many of us creators who have very limited time available. Now, here you have ChatGPT, which is an AI driven tool. It offers a unique solution by utilizing stored information, which is all over the internet, right? To facilitate efficient content creation because it's going to help you do that. And that's one of the things I absolutely love with this because with ChatGPT, we can access a number of different resources for planning and outlining our content. Isn't that great, right? We can come up with topic ideas, which is what I'm going to share with you. You could come up with SEO keywords and titles, and you can come up with different formatting and writing styles, which, as I said, sometimes it can make you sound very professional, right? My friends, when I started this little section of using the word generating, when I started with generating fresh content, that part right there, I used ChatGPT. I used an extension. Okay. I took a blurb, right? I went into docs.google.com, right? You know what docs is, right? Google Docs. And I pasted it, just the section that I started right at this very end. And I took that and I copied it and I pasted it into the one of the extensions that I shared previously. I'll share it again. And I just paraphrased it. And then I once again copied and pasted it back, replacing the others. That's just what I just did to come up with my little beginning. You see how I did that while we were live. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. And then I literally came up with it that fast. Do you realize how long it would take me to come up with those 3 paragraphs? That's the value that ChatGPT brings. But you also have to understand, like what I just shared with you, I actually used an extension, right? If you remember when I did, it was about 2 times ago when I presented, and I shared with you a great ChatGPT extension. It's called use chatgpt.ai. I use that all the time for my true crime content because I want to use not necessarily a teleprompter, but I like to have notes when I'm talking a story, right? If I'm giving you a few tips, I don't have notes for what I'm doing right now, right? I already know my bullet points. That's all I need to know. I'm teaching, right? I'm not storytelling. See, there's a difference, right? So as you can see right here, this is chat.openai.com. This is without the extension. I used my wife's Gmail account real quick and created an account so you can see what it looks like before the extension. Okay. Now I'm going to show you with the extension. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I got it right behind. Share this tab instead. Okay, now this look, it looks a lot more convoluted, right? It has a bunch of stuff on the left side, has a bunch of stuff at the bottom. It's not as clean, but a lot more tools at my fingertips with that one extension. Okay, now let's see, look at this up here because this is a big key, the prompts. Now, I don't use this. If you want to spend like $10 a month, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of on the fence. That's how much I'm loving this stuff. I'm kind of on the fence on spending the $10 to see how powerful. These are prompts, right? You can get a bunch of different prompts, and the prompts are basically what you are telling it to do. You're giving it a prompt. Okay, this is key because you need to know on even what you're asking this thing. And let me tell you something. I do not claim myself to be any type of chat GPT expert at all. I want to make that very clear. I'm learning this as you are learning this. If you're not using extensions to help with your content creation, guess what? I'm a step ahead of you. This could help you. Okay. So when you see these things, Yoast SEO optimized content writing, that's a I'm thinking extensions here. That's one of those WordPress plugins that I've used for my optimizing of my clients' blogs. You know, the one I said that we take their video, transcribe it, make it into a blog post. That's something I've used. I'm very familiar with Yoast SEO, and you probably are too, right? I'm sure we've talked about it on this channel. But what I love about this is look at the different topics you can focus on. If you want to focus on marketing only, you can focus on marketing only. You know, you can have so many different prompts where you're telling it what to do. Get monthly content calendar in one click. Buyer persona legend. You know, it can help you detail your user personas for your business. Let me tell you, people charge you a lot of money for them to help you do that. All right. I don't know the value behind this yet. I'm not going to take away from the professionals by any means. Right. But you can dig in here and see what works for you. Instagram post carousel content generator, right? One click course creator. Now, here's why I'm finding some trust in some of this, because I'm finding value in what I'm getting from ChatGPT already. Okay. Now, again, use the extension, and I don't know if you can see my screen with all my tabs up here, but you can see it's right up here that I'm have my little mouse on. Use ChatGPT AI. Go right there, download the extension. This is a powerful thing. Okay, so let's talk about content. How do you come up with some unique content? Well, first I want to share something with you that I find another very valuable aspect of this thing. It's all the different ways that Chat GPT helps you create this content. For example, you want to create a post, right, on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and you want this post to hook them in. So you want to create what's called a thread hook, right? You want to hook them in to this content. And anytime you're using content, right? Like my hook at the beginning was make sure you stay tuned throughout, because you're going to get some great value on how it's going to help you, right? On how you can create all these unique ways, these unique ideas for your content. And so ask Chat GPT to write that hook for whatever topic that you're looking for, right? If you're looking for content creation ideas, write 3 Facebook thread hooks, right, on how to use Chat GPT for content ideas. You can literally ask it that prompt. So I'm on my screen, right? Why is that up there? Let's see if I bring this here. Okay.
Manny, just so you know, we can't
Yes.
see your tabs up across the top, just as an FYI.
Do you mean the extension part?
Right. But I
Okay.
put it up on the screen, but I just wanted to let you know we can't see your tabs.
Perfect. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Thank you. So, with this, what are we doing? We're trying to create content. And so, when we're creating that content, we have to think about what we are asking it. And if you're new to it, it'll give you ideas right here, right? Explain quantum computing in simple terms. This is an example, and it's letting you know the capabilities, right? So, let's see, write 3 Facebook uh, thread hooks for how to use Chat GPT for for if I'm in insurance, maybe car insurance. Let's see. I'm guessing stuff, right? But what's it gonna tell us? It's in thinking mode. Looking for a game changer in the world of car insurance? Look, it's doing exactly what I would say to my clients that I'm coaching them on what to do, right? It's using emojis, which I tell hey, show you have some personality. Use some emojis. Maybe you disagree, then you know some of the things that I share. Look at the different thread hooks that it's asking, right? So think about that. If you're in insurance and you want to share, like, hey, I want to come up with some type of way to really hook them in with this, I think that's a key thing. And what if none of those three work? Just ask it to write three more hooks, but maybe make these thread hooks for the same topic that I just asked you, right? Don't even say asked you, don't, just for the same topic. So that is some of the value. Let's be real. If you're in insurance, you just got some value out of how to use this thing to help. Let me tell you, for me, I would have never been able to come up with this juicy stuff. I'm letting you know honestly. I would have to go and try to find something and paraphrase it. This time I didn't have to paraphrase it, right? I just had it created for me. But here's the thing. This is just like Dory said earlier. You have to really look through it and make sure it's accurate. It will tell you when you first join ChatGPT. It's AI, it's learning. It could be wrong. I'm paraphrasing again. It could be wrong. It don't take it all for truth and value. So if I am an insurance agent, I'm going to look through it all and I'm going to make sure, number one, it sounds like my voice. Number two, it's is accurate. So this is key things. So think about that. But here's the other thing. You don't have to be done there, right? You now started the hook. What if you wanted to come up with a conclusion for you? You can ask it to do that. Write a conclusion Facebook post for one of these threads we talked about. You can literally write two more possible conclusions. So think about that on your own. You're basically prompting, remember that key word, prompting it to do that. Dory, while I have you done any of this yet?
So, well, a couple things. First, on your screen, we can't see what you typed and we cannot see the prompts that were generated for you.
Poopies. Okay, share. Okay. Now
Okay,
you
so
see
while
it.
you're while
Okay.
you're doing that, so as a matter of fact, I have actually utilized ChatGPT to do some writing for me. And one of the things that I have been asking it to do recently is help with my video descriptions.
Nice.
And one of the things that I love that you pointed out is that a lot of the value that you get out of ChatGPT comes from the value of the prompt that you put in. The more specific you can be with the prompt, the more specific the information is that you're going to get back. And so I haven't used it to do any blog writing or like social media posts, but I have been utilizing it to do video descriptions for me.
Awesome.
And I absolutely love the output. Absolutely love the output that's being generated.
So just to give me an idea of maybe we should consider this as a future topic on this channel. When you're doing that description, are you thinking about optimizing in those particular key words that you need to reach out, that you're wanting to target?
Yes. So, one of the things that I've learned to do, and I know this is going to sound really odd when I say it, so bear with me. I have started treating my conversation in ChatGPT as if I'm conversing with a person. I know that sounds weird, but I'm it's kind of a give and take. It's a back and forth. So when it generates something, I'll say, "Can you rewrite that description based on the fact that our audience is mostly content creators and the title of the video is?" So I'll include the title of the video. I'll include some of the key points in the video, and I'll also remind ChatGPT of who our audience is that spends time with us. And typically after the second or third iteration, I like it enough to take it.
Awesome. Awesome. You're definitely doing the right things to that you're keeping in mind as you're creating this, because
Mhm.
optimizing, especially for our content to get found, we want to at least tell the search engines what we need it to be found for. So that's awesome that you're doing that. And I kind of want to skim through this again, knowing that my screen wasn't up. But again, I asked it to do what, write 3 Facebook thread hooks for how to use Chat GPT for car insurance. And he came up with 3 thread hooks to help. And right out of the gate, it's using emojis, looking for a game changer, that key word that says game changer. What you got here, right? Say hello to, and if I am insurance agents, maybe I'm targeting insurance agents, right? On how they can use this stuff. I'm a marketer, right? So for whatever thing that I could help that we can monetize, we can help someone create this type of thing, right? And learn how to use it accordingly. And so I think it's great because you can continue to ask for more hooks, or, here's the things that I love too. It can help you come up with a conclusion to this that you're sharing. It could help you come up with a call to action. A call to action is, what do you want them to do next? Right? You give it, they found some value in this. Now, what do you want them to do with it? And so think about that. And as I shared, you want to come up with Facebook posts, Twitter tweets, whatever you want to create there, YouTube description. This will help you do that. Now, taking it a step further, right now, as I'm showing you, I'm on the plain Chat GPT without the extensions. So with that, I'm going to move over to the other one. And this is the one again where you can create all the different prompts. And nope, I got you this time. I didn't forget. So this is why, look at all the prompts you can have it do without you having even think hard. Now, one of the things that I find, and again, you heard me from the very beginning, knowing what to ask it to do. There's certain things it can't create a true crime story, a complete story. It has to use the information it already has. And basically, from what I'm finding, correct me if I'm wrong, Dory, it's the information it has from the internet, all over the internet, from the years and years and decades of the internet. That's where it's getting all of its information. I've always said, don't recreate the wheel. I think this freaking proves my point to the very end. And so when you're thinking about having, like I said, the only challenge that I'm really finding is knowing exactly what to ask it. But what I have found is just keep asking stuff. Just keep doing it. And if it starts giving you the right ideas, then ask it to go deeper. Just ask it to go more. Oh, okay, go a little more. Give me 5 more tweets on how to get more likes, or yeah, likes. That's the only thing it has. It doesn't have other emojis yet. But you can ask it for so many different things. So when you're thinking about how to create unique content, well, Chat GPT alone lets you do that. But you got to know what are the right prompts. What are the latest trends in social media? What is the latest trends in car insurance? What is the latest trends in home selling, right? The real estate market's going crazy. Well, what is the latest trends in? Now, again, it's not really 2023 content unless something is being talked about beyond. Because I have found that something that has had so much talking about it's caught on to stuff like that a little more on the current stuff, that may not be 2020 and beyond. And so this is key. What are some common misconceptions about your topic that you're about to talk about? Ask it to do that. So you have to know what is the right prompts. This could be your first challenge I'm going to tell you to dive into right out of the gate, because it is. You need to know how to use this thing. If you are a pastor, it can help you come up with your sermon. If you have to come up with a speech, it can help you come up with your speech. But remember, folks, please try to keep it with your personality, with your sense of humor. It's going to do all of the heavy lifting. You just need to take a little time to make sure it is what you want and how you want it to come out. And look at all these different things. Experiment with all these different things. ChatGPT can let you customize so much to generate so many different types of content ideas. And so, if you want to adjust the length of the generated text, you can do that. If you want it longer, if you want it shorter, you can do that. You can change the tone of voice. That's what I said. Like, sometimes it sounds like it's smarter than me. The way it's coming up with all this stuff, right? Change the voice if it doesn't sound like you. That's why I'm saying, like, be careful. But then you're going to come up with so many ideas. Once you get all these crazy, awesome ideas that you are like super fired up about running with, well, guess what? Now you got to refine it and then start narrowing it down. Here's the truth. You can fill up your content calendar this way. And I highly recommend you do that. And again, if you're a true crime creator, you're probably not going to come up with too many ideas if you're more about the what's in the media stuff. If you're more about, what happened in today's news, if you want to talk about, some of the older, you know, I don't want to get too stuff in here, but if you want to talk about some of the older ones that have been around, that when people first learn about true crime, the first people they start go Googling, the famous ones, you'll find information on that, right? Again, if it's newer, a little more challenging. If it's older, it'll help you write your story if that's what you want. But again, it won't be 100% accurate. Remember that. It won't be, especially on older stories. They're going to throw in a bunch of, again, it searched the internet. It came up with it. It's thinking quick, right? Then the more you pay this thing, the faster to think. And so you have to think about that, because there's some great value. And Dory mentioned it. I mentioned it. It literally will save you a ton of time and effort. It does all the heavy lifting for you. I love that. Even though it could generate dozens and dozens of unique ideas for you in literally minutes of time. What is that going to allow you to do in your time? What's it going to allow? For me, I get to ride my bike a little more, right? For me, it lets me be productive a little quicker, get this out of the way. Great. Now I can throw something else out there. I'm literally speaking from experience. Because if it's one thing I want to do is whatever content that can slow me down, I want to knock that thing out. Do I still have slow days? Yes. Again, a lot of my stuff is current for the most part, right? When I'm creating things, you know, did I have to spend hours on this? A couple hours. I'm presenting, right? I'm still presenting. I want to be ready. But think about this. You're looking for, maybe a fresh perspective on how this stuff can go. Maybe you're looking for some fresh ideas. Chat GPT can help you do that. It literally provides those different perspectives you probably didn't even think about. I guarantee you this, I didn't. And so think about that, because it is leveraging the power of AI. AI is not new. AI is not new. I mean, wasn't that movie Short Circuit? Johnny number 5? Wasn't that part of AI? Right? This stuff is not new. They probably have been having this in secret labs before we even knew it was coming. I don't know. I'm throwing that out there. But if you want to improve on the quality of your content and the relevancy of your content, using ChatGPT will help you. And if you use this again, check out the video I did a few weeks ago. I shared some great ones, including using Google, right? But this one, this use Chat GPT, AI, open, whatever I shared over there, that has been my favorite. I use that every day, every day. So if you're thinking about like, man, how can I create content that's relevant, unique? I don't want to spend all day or weekend. I don't want to throw my freaking hours and hours away. You're welcome. You're welcome. My friends, I feel like we have been spoiled. I feel like we have hit a gold mine. If you're a content creator, I feel like we hit a gold mine with this Chat GPT. I'm ready to spend money. They're ready to charge me for everything. Not everything. I'm saying $10 a month. There's going to be other ways to always have Chat GPT, and I bet you for at least $10 a month. I bet you. So get used to this stuff now. And let me tell you something. When I was a little intimidated by Chat GPT a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Again, my friend is an IT guy who introduced me to this. Everything he talks to me, I almost sounds like I feel like, man, that's foreign to me. But then he just teaches me more. He keeps wanting me to be on this, I don't know, Megalodon. What's that app? There's this app, Mastodon. I can't, I forget what it's called right off the top of my head. But he's always like, it's like the Twitter alternate. And he's tied into it, posting on there, getting views. And, you know, it's like he's an IT guy, right? So he gets things a little quicker. But if that's something that's holding you back, you're intimidated because you're like, man, I'm not an IT. Again, all I had to do was start practicing. Just talk to the thing, you know. Hey, just say do this or write this or how this or what this or the things we learned in basic school, right? Who, what, when, why. Just start asking it questions. Start telling it to do things. You'll find it's not as intimidating as you thought. Just like me. And if you're not familiar with extensions, get familiar with extensions too, because I truly believe that makes life a little easier too through this whole thing. And so, as I close this out, I want to share with you what's stopping you if you're not doing it. If you're creating content, I literally just helped you save a lot of time if you're not. And here's what I am finding. Here's what I am finding is that a lot of people are familiar with ChatGPT. It's a new phenomenon. I truly believe that. It's that tipping point where it's just going to reach that point where it's like, holy moly, this is thing. But where will you be? Because again, AI has been out for a while. ChatGPT has not. Why don't you start by learning now? Use it in just see if it works for you. If you're a writer, I bet you it could still help you come up with ideas. Again, all this video is about coming up with unique content ideas for you. That's it. I just want to challenge you. If you're feeling like, oh my God, that's all technology stuff, don't worry about that. Don't. As you see on our show, between Kevin and Dory, I could feel very intimidated because they're techie people. They're literally, we met in a techie type. This is what we're going to be doing and learning and helping each other. And we became really close, right? We learned together. So, my friends, again, go out there, start. Just look at what it could do for you. I will leave it there. I hope you got some value from this. Dory, what do you think? Did I at least bring something new to the table that seems of value? Sweet.
100%.
Oh, good, good, good,
So
good.
first of all, I got to put this up on screen again because Anna has just accepted your challenge,
Let's
Coach Manny.
go. Yeah, I love it. That's all I ever want. I just want to get that one person that says, I'm going to do that. I love it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Anna. You made my day.
So first of all, I was not using that extension.
Oh, I love that thing.
I don't use Chrome as much as I used to. I've kind of shifted over to some other browsers, but I opened a new tab and I typed it in so that when the broadcast is over, I can add the extension and I will have it to use. But in terms of what you talked about tonight, there are a couple things that I 100% wholeheartedly get behind. And you mentioned about using your time and resources. And I think that using a service like ChatGPT lets you, especially if you're somebody busy that has a lot of irons in the fire like me, it lets you spend your time and resources more in the creative realm versus kind of slogging through research and fact finding. It I am more than happy letting the AI do that work so that I can focus on where I think my strengths are, which is in the connecting with people and the creativity realm. And the other thing that I think is really, really important, and you touched on this as well, is learning how to hone your skill in writing prompts. And I think the best advice, aside from my weird, I imagine ChatGPT as a person in a computer that I'm talking to, um, imagine that you are getting to sit across the table from the expert in the field that you are writing about. So if you're writing a blog post about insurance, imagine you're sitting across the table from the top earning insurance agent in the entire country and you get to pick their brain as an expert. And if you treat your chat GPT prompts like that, I guarantee I guarantee that you'll find success. Anna just asked a really interesting question, and you mentioned this a couple times, Manny, when you said about the paid service. I don't know.
I, I asked my friend Kevin that as well, and we don't know, but it's basically free to just catch its wave, and then, you know, I almost view it almost like, if you're a video streamer, OBS, where it's free, it's open, you can use it to create your own type of unique things. It seems like ChatGPT is obviously on a wider scale for everyone. It seems like it's doing that exact same thing here. Use it in your stuff. Come up with unique ways to put it to use. Because I get hit with Facebook ads now. I get hits with Facebook ads trying to sell me on prompts. I should have mentioned that
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
probably because we do this stuff, right? And so now they're targeting us, people who are using it. So to answer the question, I don't think I'm not going to believe it's going to be a year or two. I believe it's going to be sooner. I believe that it's reaching that point where it's like, okay, now you have to pay to play.
But there'll always be a free version of an
Limited.
AI somewhere, but
Yeah.
limited. I
Yeah.
totally I totally agree with that. Um I had a question early on and then I actually was able to go to the site about whether or not it was strictly for Chrome use. And I did notice on their website that it lists, I don't know what Bard is, but I do know Bing and Claude um, use it
Well,
as ChatGPT, Bard, Bing Chat, and Claude. Or are those must be other extensions maybe that this company produces. Add to
yeah.
Chrome.
And I know if you
Add to
use
Chrome.
Edge, for example, Edge uses Chrome extensions as well. So it's like Chrome
Okay.
for Edge. So I use it on Edge mostly because now I'm transitioning to Mac and I use Google Chrome for all of Mac so far, but I'm transitioning from Edge on everything.
Gotcha.
Always been a Chrome fan, but that I literally, like, as I'm looking at all of my extensions, and Bing is Microsoft, and yeah, literally. So I'm using it, but again, Edge, literally all the Chrome extensions you can use on Edge.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, yeah, and I also just want to say an extra welcome to our new guest this evening, Elevate with Vern. So
Yeah,
thank you for hopping
welcome.
in, and we hope that you found our content worthy and
Yes. Don't
helpful.
forget to
Um,
subscribe.
but I think, Manny, we have covered all the questions, and unless you had any other parting final words, I think it's that time.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and thank you for
Happy
joining us.
Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
My friends, if you enjoy content like this and you are finding it useful, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe to our channel. And sharing our content is also a great way to spread the love. Visit our website for all the ways that you can connect with us. As you can see right there, linktree/content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And our C3 AI machine, God bless you, is generated by your comments, your questions, and your suggestions. So please drop down in that comment area and let us know what topics you would like to see us cover in our upcoming episodes. And with that, I would like to say, along with Coach Manny, thank you for joining Content Creators Connect. God bless you, aka C3, today, as we heard Manny discuss the use of ChatGPT to create unique content. We will return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, minus Coach Manny, who will be coaching at
In
Nationals.
California.
Good luck to
Thank
you.
you.
Kevin will actually be showing us how to become an avatar on your own stream. This is going to be good. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week.
Peace. Thank you for joining us.